Welcome back, my fine people. Today we're going to be doing an animation in Procreate Dreams. Should be very good for a beginner, and we're going to be animating an eclipse of the sun by the moon. Okay, so let's move over to Procreate Dreams and I'll show you what I've made. By the way, if you want to get all of these assets, they're going to be over on the Patreon page, so you can download all of the assets for both websites for one low price. All right, let's get started. So this is what I've made. I have one eye because it's going to blink on one layer. I have the moon, the whole moon's face on one layer. I have the sun's face on a layer. He's not going to change at all. And we have the sun rays, which are going to animate. We have two backgrounds, one for the sun, which is a blue background, and then we have one for the moon, which is a black background with some stars. And I've just used a luminescent brush to make those. So it's all of this stuff was very, very simple to make. All right, but now let's move on over to Procreate Dreams and let's set up our file. So I'm going to hit the plus here in the top corner. And we're going to start on this widescreen empty one here. If you want to change, you can do whatever you want just by scrolling through everything here. And then you can also click on the red square there to change the settings of it there also. All right, so we're just going to start off with this empty one right here. And then we're going to go back. Well, actually, let's go ahead and set our parameters. So if you click on the file name here, go to properties. I'm going to change my frames per second to 12, which I usually do. And that's a frame by frame animation. And then our duration, they're usually no more than 10 seconds. So we're going to set this to 10. And this 1 minute here, just click on it and hit the backspace. It'll get rid of that. So 12 frames per second, 10-second duration, and a 1920 by 1080. That's what we want. Hit done. And here we are. Now let's go back over to Procreate. And what I like to do is, actually, let me make sure all of these layers are turned on. Because if we have them off and try to import it, it's going to be off over there. So everything's on. So how I like to do it is I like to just hold on it until I can move it. And then I'll go over to Dreams without lifting up my finger and then dropping it right in there. But from Dreams, you can do it the same way. You can import a file like that. You do it that way. So let me see if I can get this to fit. I think, well, there looks like some little white on the end here. I think that's good. All right, so here is our timeline. I'm going to stretch that out a bit until we can see it all. Okay, that's good. And it's 10 seconds there. Now, all of these things are in a flat file right now, which we don't want. We need all those layers back in here. So to get that back, what you do is you long press on your track here, and then you hit Convert Layers to Tracks. Now you can see that automatically makes a group now. And if we open up the group by clicking on that little arrow mark, now we can see all of our layers that we had here. All right, so let's see. The first thing I want to do is I want to get that moon out of here because he's not supposed to be here right now. But we need to put this eye and this moon together so we can animate that together at first. So how we're going to do is we're going to group those two. So what you do is you click on the little layers symbol right here and you draw a line through both of those. All right, and then we can long press on them. And you can see right here it says group. So we group those, and it keeps the blank layers for some reason. I don't know why it does that, but anyway, there's our group now with our moon and our one eye. All right, so we're going to close that for right now, and we're going to take him off of the screen. So from the very beginning, we're going to click on the little up here. Click on the little clacker right there, and we're going to move. And we're going to move and scale him. All right, and then we're going to take him completely off of the screen here. All right, so from the beginning, He's going to be off the screen. Now we're going to let the sun set there for about a second, I guess, before the moon starts coming on. And then what we're going to do is we're going to set another keyframe, which we're going to leave it right there still, but then we're going to come over just a little bit. So that's going to be the duration of when he's coming in. So we don't want that to be too long, maybe half a second. We'll see what that looks like. And I'll click on it again, and then I'm going to move it over and cover up the sun. All right, let's see what that looks like. Oh, that's too fast. All right, so what I can do now is take this last keyframe here, which is right there, and just long press on it, and then just kind of slide it over. That didn't work. Oh, it did. So you see it moved it over some. Let's see what that looks like now. That's a little bit better. I think I want to do it a little bit slower, so I'm going to move him over just a little bit more. Not much. Let's see now. There we go. I like that. So that is sufficient. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is let's close our moon. Actually, our moon group is already closed. So let's move on to something else right now. So as the moon starts to come over, what I want the sun rays to do is start to fade out. All right, so we're going to come down to the sun rays, and there's a little, you can see they're like little triangle shapes right there. So when it gets to about right here, I think I'm going to have it start to fade out. So I'm going to click on that. We're going to filter it this time instead of move, and we're going to click on the opacity. All right, so the opacity right here should be full. The opacity right here should be full, and then right next to it, we're going to take it all the way back down. Let's see what that looks like now. Yep, good enough. Actually, we could probably, let's take this middle keyframe here and move it over a little bit so we give it more of a gradual fade out. Yeah, that's better. All right, so that's what we wanted, but you can see our moon is not covering our sun completely, so we need to fix that. Maybe there. Yeah, I think that's close enough. Okay, so the rays will fade out. And then also we need to change our background. So the background is going to fade out too. So I've got the blue one on top of the black one. So the only thing we need to do is animate the blue one out. So if you're enjoying the content, I have a small favor to ask that makes a huge difference. Subscribing to my channel is like giving a virtual high five, and it means the world to me. When you hit that subscribe button, you're not just supporting the channel, you're joining an incredible community of awesome people who love art just as much as you do. Imagine being part of something bigger where every view, like, and comment helps us grow and reach more awesome folks just like you. Plus, subscribing is super easy. It's just one click, but that one click has a ripple effect, helping me create more content, bringing new ideas to life, and spreading positivity all around. And hey, in the spirit of kindness, how about this? Subscribe and then go out and do something nice for someone today. Hold the door open for a stranger, leave a kind note for a coworker, or simply smile at someone who looks like they need it. Let's make the world a bit brighter together. So what are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button and let's make amazing things happen. Thank you for your support. You're the reason this channel exists. So we're going to do the same thing. So as those rays were starting to fade out, we're going to set an initial keyframe for filter. And we're just going to leave it like it is. We're going to want it full opacity. And then about right here, we want to set another one that's full opacity. And then from there to here, just like we did the rays, we're going to make him fade out all the way. Okay, let's see what that looks like. There we go, that's good. All right, and now what we need to do is we need to make our moon wink. So we're going to go back up to the moon group. I'm going to open it up. We need to go to the eye. All right, and we're going to let him sit here for probably a second and a half maybe. So I'm going to let him set here for just a little bit, and then about right here we're going to start animating that eye. So I'm going to go down to the eye track, which is this one right here, and you can see it puts a little box around it, and we know we've got it selected. Alright, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new track on top of the eye. So hit the plus, hit track, and it's going to make a new blank track above it. Now what I want to do is go in the drawing mode, and I'm going to select my moon color right there by holding down on it, just like we do in Procreate. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to draw a little gray shape over it. So as it starts to wink. Alright, and go over, draw something a little bit more, over, a little bit more. And now we need to open it back up. Oops, we skipped something right here. Let's move that over next to it. Alright, and then here, I'm going to start to let it go back up. And then it should be full. Let's see what that looks like. Boop. Yep, it's perfect. Alright, I'm going to close my moon again because we're done with it. And let's see what that looks like. The moon comes out, he winks at you, and now we're going to get him to go back out. Alright, so we need to go back to our moon again. Make this smaller so we can see everything. Alright, so we let our moon set there for about, come in right here, he winks, and then for about the 4-second mark maybe, we'll have him start to get out of here. So we're going to click on it, we're going to hit move and scale. And then let me see if we can see our, that didn't work actually. Wink. Set a keyframe, and they're going to have him move out. Maybe here. Let's see what that looks like. So in, wink, and he's out of here. Alright, I think that's good. Okay, but as he leaves, we want all this stuff to fade back in. So we want the rays to fade back in. So let's go back to our rays, and we want them to be completely blank still. But then we want them to fade back in to about right here maybe. Let's see how. Yeah, I like it. Okay, and then also what we want to do is we want the sky to fade back in. So we're going to set a keyframe just like we did. We want it still at 0. Okay, but then right here we're going to take it back up to 100. And I think that should be it. So this was a very simple one. It is a very good effect actually, and it shows you how to do other than moving animations and how to get Procreate Dreams to cooperate with you a little bit easier. So I hope this has helped you out. Very simple one today, good for beginners. Remember that if you can get all the assets if you'd like over on the Patreon page. But having said that, I will see you guys next week for another Procreate or Procreate Dreams tutorial. Take care.